This goes back to my theory that there are no real men employed at Daystar. Let me explain something to you, JW. I hope and I pray to God that you are watching this video. Let me explain something to you about what a real man is. A real man protects women and children. Welcome once again, everyone, from beautiful South Lake Tahoe, California. My name is John T. I'm a house church pastor here in Tahoe, as well as the leader of the Remnant, where we meet online every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, where I teach the Word of God. I'm currently in a series right now on the Holy Spirit, and this Sunday night, I will be discussing blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. You do not want to miss it. So the title of this video is Breaking My Silence on Daystar. John T., why have you been silent? Many people have actually asked why I haven't weighed in on these detective interviews with JW and Rebecca Weiss, and the other interview with Joshua Brown and the Colleyville police detective. And to be honest with you, about 3 months ago, the Lord wanted me to stay on the tail of Robin Bullock. Now, not only am I not done reporting on Robin Bullock, there's a lot that hasn't come out yet. However, a few days ago, I felt the Lord release me to talk about these police detective interviews with the Colleyville Police Department. So here we go. And I know that I'm a little behind the 8 ball because my podcaster friends have all reported on this, but I have a little different perspective on this. So here we go with my commentary on the police interview with JW and Rebecca. Okay, so Rebecca and Jonathan Weiss just entered the interview room with the police investigator. And basically, this is the part where they are simply introducing themselves.
We have 3 kids, 5-year-old, 2 boys and a girl, 5, 2, and 8 months. What else do we say about ourselves? I'm the youngest in the family. He's from California. I've been in here my entire life. My joke is that I've never been able to get out of here. And yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm from California. Met Rebecca, we dated long distance, got married in 2018, and wanted to move to Texas. I always tell Rebecca that I feel like I was a Texan born in California, so always felt an affinity for the place. And yeah, raising our family here, and love the Lord, work in ministry full time.
I works in ministry full time. No, man, you work for Daystar. You work for your mother-in-law. Work in ministry full time. You make it sound like you're just out there day and night, just pounding the streets, leading people to the Lord. No, man, you've got a gravy job. We know that everyone with the last name Lamb makes 6 figures at Daystar. I'm sure you're not exactly making minimum wage here, so you can call it what you want and just to make yourself look great.
Well, it's always a good thing when you guys live in Colleyville, and I've never met you guys before, so it's always a good thing. So,
yes.
You guys got any questions for me before we start? It'll be very quick and painless. And
I don't think I have questions. I'm just grateful to you reach out because, we've wanted to do the right thing the whole time this stuff has been going on.
We wanted to do the right thing the whole time this thing was going on. Remember that, viewers.
From the very beginning, and so literally the last thing that we had felt was, what if we talked to somebody at the police department? We didn't even know how to do that, so we appreciate it.
And then he reached out to us.
You didn't know how to talk to someone at the police department. I guess in Colleyville, Texas, they don't have 911, but whatever.
So we're like, oh, perfect.
Yeah, it was good timing.
Well, yeah, I would have done it a little sooner, but I guess I kind of had the feeling like, and of course it was inaccurate, I kind of had the feeling that you guys just didn't want to talk to me. Because I relayed messages, but after I asked you, when was the last time you talked to Jonathan and Suzy, you said 18 months or so.
Yeah.
Like, okay, y'all didn't.
They cut us off hardcore.
Yeah, they cut us off, and they didn't even tell us they were cutting us off. They just cut
But
us
what's
off.
bizarre is if you go online and look at like that, they make it seem like, you know, that they didn't do that or that they're waiting for us to help them in some way.
And I actually ran into him.
To help them, yes. If you saw something, yes, they wanted you to help them. Listen, when someone cuts you off, typically it's for one of two reasons. The first reason is that maybe they're just crazy. The other reason is that you did something and showed yourself not to be a safe, reliable person. And that is what I am going with. But we'll continue this.
In person for the first time in a year and a half, and he said nothing to me. I had to engage conversation with him, and he never said, "Can you speak out?" or nothing.
Same
He
here.
acted like
I ran
nothing.
into it.
Why, Rebecca, would Jonathan need to tell you to speak out? If you saw something, you should speak out. Why would Jonathan have to ask you to speak out? Just do the right thing.
Wrong.
Actually, at
It
F45,
was so weird.
He works out with you there?
we used
It's
to
so awkward.
we used to go together for a long time, and then obviously when he decided that we were the enemy or whatever, so I ran into him there, and he just looked at me and didn't say anything, and I was like, hi, and then he said hi back.
No,
That was
I mean, dude, no, you and Rebecca retained your employment at Daystar after he and his wife basically got the boot. And you guys didn't stand up in any way to Joni. You want to know why? You want to know why you guys didn't stand up in any way to Joni? Because you guys are married to your paycheck. And someone please tell me otherwise, okay? We'll continue.
Didn't say anything like,
No.
hey, will you
Never.
contact so? Okay.
No.
I think I said, how's it going? He was like, going good. I was like,
Well,
Yeah, man, Jonathan probably thinks you guys are soft and you guys are weasels. You're just there for the paycheck. And you guys would rather work under Joni's rule than under Jonathan and Suzy. I don't get that. I don't get that at all.
he can obviously vouch for it, but because the accusation was made, if there's an NDA saying you can't talk about sexual abuse of a child, that's
There's not.
negated.
Yeah,
Okay, I understand.
yeah.
That was the accusation.
the NDA, I don't even remember, I'm sure we can get you a copy of it. It's very
Yeah, I'm sure.
corporate.
Basic.
Don't go online and slander your org.
Rebecca, how do you know that the NDA is basic? Tell me, Rebecca, please tell me all of the jobs you've ever had in your life where you signed an NDA. You know what the answer to that is? One. You've had one job your whole life working for mommy and daddy. You don't know anything about NDAs other than the ones that you and your husband signed.
If there's secrets, or not secrets, sorry, if there's, proprietary information, yeah, as any business,
Oh, they're secrets. You can call it proprietary information, but there are secrets.
as this company has, anyone has, that's to remain proprietary. That's it. That's the NDA. The only reason we never said anything is because there was nothing incriminating that we could report that we knew of, and we're not going to go online and play, slander with a bunch of online people. We've always submitted everything to
Yes, all you terrible online people that are watching my video right now.
the leadership, not only the family, but organizationally, and that's all you can really do. And to the parents too.
And I don't trust them for a lot of different reasons.
You gotta clarify them because there's a lot.
Jonathan and Suzy. I don't trust Jonathan and Suzy, even though I was close to them. One of the reasons
Man, wow, Rebecca, wow. Let me get this straight. You don't trust Jonathan and Suzy, but you trust Joni Lamb. And you work with your sister Rachel. This is jacked up, guys.
why I don't even trust their motives in this, of course I don't know their motives, is if you really believe he did
I don't trust their motives, but I don't know their motives.
something, you sat on that for a whole year and a half or however long and you didn't tell us, and we have a daughter, that to me was a huge red flag. You know, because if you care about justice and you care about protecting kids, why was it more important to you to sabotage and do your sneak thing than to come warn us as parents?
Because your mom is a sneak, Rebecca.
We've always tried to like look out and do the right thing and care. You know what I mean? That just didn't make any sense to me.
Well, let me explain that to you, Rebecca. So when this went down and Jonathan Lamb freaked out when he saw Pete in the room where baby Lamb was changing. You guys remember that? And afterwards, Marcus and Joni, they said, oh, the Holy Spirit told us that nothing happened. And Marcus told Jonathan, and Jonathan being a submitted son and submitted also to his employer, Marcus said, you guys go back to work. I want you to be cool with Joshua Brown, go out and play golf with him or whatever, and just forgive him. What does Jonathan do? Jonathan did exactly that. Okay. So there was no sneaking around or anything like that. Okay. There might have been that year and a half period where Jonathan was just obeying his dad and believing the best in Joshua Brown as well as he could. And then other things came out, and he and Suzy essentially ended up getting the boot, and that's when all this went down.
So you guys have read all the stuff online, right?
Not all of it.
This is quite a bit. I'm pretty.
For the protection of my own health, because it's really upsetting to
60% of
me.
it.
It was really upsetting for me.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot out there, a lot of stuff that, I mean, you guys will read it and really, that's ridiculous, you know, because I do some of that too, you know. But it's one of those things where it could be seen in both ways. That's why we need every bit of information we can get.
Yeah.
That's why we're here right now.
Yeah.
You guys are a big part of the missing puzzle for me, so because I actually haven't talked to you guys.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So a lot of the common recurring things we mentioned, you guys on the reports and stuff and the blogs and whatever, was that you guys had wrote a letter or email talking about concerns for Josh or something.
Yeah. I wrote like a.
Not really.
Not really, like, more like a brainstorm of like what I had witnessed, like my concerns, and just what I found was alarming.
What kind of stuff was alarming?
The behavior of Josh towards, like, I saw him, you know, force himself on her to kiss her in the green room setting on 2 separate occasions, and both time I was just like, ooh. You know, just why is he doing that? And I just went and told.
Both times I was like, ooh, why is he doing that? Both times I was like, ooh, why is he doing that? But you didn't say anything to anyone, JW. I don't get it. See, this goes back to my theory that there are no real men employed at Daystar. By the way, you viewers, if you know of any real men that are employed at Daystar, I would like for you to pause this video right now and drop it in the comments. I'll investigate it. I'll check it out. But as far as any executives at Daystar, there are absolutely, positively, 100% no real men at Daystar. And that goes for you too. JW. I mean, this guy acts like he doesn't even know how to pick up the phone and dial 911 or call the police or go to the police or speak to some sort of investigator or authorities in this situation. You witnessed this twice and you were like, that was weird, but you didn't do anything. Dude, you are not a real man. Let me explain something to you, JW. I hope and I pray to God that you are watching this video. Let me explain something to you about what a real man is. A real man protects women and children. Okay. And that is not you. You are not a real man. You're just like all of the other, man, I can't say this word, but Joni has all of you guys by yours. Okay. Just want to throw that out there. You're not a real man. You're there for your paycheck, dude. Like you're in this deep ministry. No, you're there for a paycheck.
Parents, Jonathan and Suzy, I was like, hey, just so you know, I saw this. Well, one time Suzy was sitting there.
She was there.
And I was like going like this, like Suzy.
You're like, hey.
She was like, you know, double the distance from where you are to me. And I was like, and she was kind of pretending like, I don't know what that was. She was pretending like
she wouldn't say anything.
She couldn't see me, which I was doing this. I'm not small, you know, and it's not a big room. So, you know, I don't know what that was, but that.
Now, I didn't catch this the first time that I saw this. He said Suzy was pretending like. That is actually my theory, that Suzy was pretending. Now, how far was Joshua Brown going to take this with Baby Lamb in front of Baby Lamb's mom, Suzy, and JW and whomever else might have been there? He wasn't going to take it too far. And I'll bet you Suzy was just like, hey, I'm going to pretend like I don't know what's going on here. I want to see how far this knucklehead takes it. That's my theory on this.
There was one instance where I saw him like grab her and her trying to shrivel, you know, kind of, you know, kids like, you know, and him force a mouth-to-mouth kiss. And then the separate occasion, I was very close. I was like, this.
Before we even get to the second occasion, see, man, JW, this goes back to you're simply not a real man. So a grown man tries to force a kiss on a 5-year-old, and you didn't do anything about it. JW, what do you do that you might think makes you a real man? Brings in a paycheck? No, man, you married in to the paycheck. Real men get involved. They separate the situation and they take the predator off to the side and say, I'm going to retain you until the authorities get here. That's what real men do, JW.
Distance. I was sitting at a fridge with my back, and he was coloring at the table, and he came in and was asking for a kiss, kind of like this, and he grabbed her by the face and did a lip kiss on her there. And that was the one that I was close. You know, when you're like 2 feet away from it, I like wanted to like freak out. It was weird, you know.
It was weird, like a not blood.
All righty. See, now that is why I made this video, that statement right here. Let me play it again.
The one that I was close, you know, when you're like 2 feet away from it, I like wanted to like freak out.
He was 2 feet away from it, 2 feet away from the situation. And he says, and I was like, you were like, what? You were like, and I called the police. You were like, and I retained the guy. I put the guy in a headlock. You were like, what? Listen to this again, guys. One more time. I was like.
The one that I was close, you know, when you're like 2 feet away from it, I like wanted to like freak out. It was weird.
You wanted to like, but you didn't. You wanted to like, but you didn't. You didn't do anything. Why even say I wanted to like? You didn't do anything, man. Not a real man. Not a real man.
You know?
It's weird, like a not blood uncle.
Yeah.
Someone's
Exactly.
kid, okay, I get you.
And even just anyone, like, I don't know. I wouldn't kiss. I
We're
mean, I
very
kiss my
protective
kids, but-
people. We're protective people. We love our knees.
Yeah.
You know, and so we deferred to the parents. We just said, hey, like, you know.
And I didn't know, maybe their boundaries were different.
Boundaries were different. Okay, so viewers, I would like to know from you. I see you've got two different types of families in this regard. Families you grew up with. Some of you grew up in families where you kissed each other on the lips, and it's no big deal, and it's completely harmless. And then you've got families like the ones that I grew up with, and the one that I grew up with, and there was no kissing of anybody on the lips but my mom and dad. And I'm not saying that that's right or what's wrong or whatever. If it's within the blood family and it doesn't go any further than that, I don't see any harm with that. I was actually talking to another podcaster when this video first came out about this, and I told this podcaster that that's not how we grew up. The only kissing on the lips was done between my mom and dad, and that was kind of how we were trained. But if you guys did this in your family, I don't see any big deal with it if you guys didn't see any big deal with it. But would you let me know in the comments what it was like in your family? Was your family the type where you did kiss each other on the lips or not? I would love to hear your response.
You know, maybe like Jonathan and Suzy liked their kids being loved on in that way by Josh and Rachel. So it's like, you know.
And one more thing, viewers. For those of you who it was okay to kiss on the lips in your family, maybe your mom or your dad, if it was okay, where was the line drawn? Was the line drawn where an uncle by marriage was also allowed to kiss the kids on the lips? Let me know that in the comments, please.
Yeah, and since then, when this story's come out and I've shared my perspective, you know, Rachel says like, "Oh, I kiss them all the time like that," and stuff, and so kind of like, okay, like whatever, that's y'all, you know. Again, it's just I thought it was really weird.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
Yeah, it was weird.
And that was at the they call
That was
it
The green room, which is
Yeah,
like
it's
the common
our
area.
family area.
Yeah.
People are always coming in and out. It's like right above the studio where we film, so that's where most people like hang out.
How big is that room?
It's not big.
It's like,
Is it like this room? Or?
No, it's bigger.
I
I'm
would
so bad
say
with measurements.
no. It's about the size of my living room, so it's like 30.
12.
Oh God, stop.
No, it's like 30
Someone else
by
do
40
it.
feet.
Okay.
You know, it's
Yeah.
deep. Like
Yeah. Well, just short of giving you the tour and saying, does this room match or does this
yeah, exactly.
You can see anything in
You
that room.
can see anything from
One
any
room.
angle, but I was literally this close the first time, and the second time double that distance. And Suzy was next to and Josh, and she was pretending like it wasn't happening.
Yeah,
And
I remember
so-
she didn't say anything.
Why is the other guy? Why is the in-law the one who cares? Like, you know, that's so. I was just kind of like, whatever. I told Rebecca that night.
You might say that you cared, but you did nothing, man.
I was like, didn't I? Or
Yeah, we were like, why didn't she do anything?
yeah, because I would have been like, hey, don't kiss my kid.
Yeah.
Don't touch my kid.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. But not necessarily legal.
Right. And what am I going to
No.
go to Detective Nick and say, hey, I saw this guy hug this kid, you know? Like,
I get a lot less. Yeah, so I always throw out the story of we had a lady calling about pine cones in her yard. So, because this perspective for you.
Colleyville.
Well, she's got a pine tree in her yard too, but these are hers, these are not.
No,
What? Are you kidding?
No, that's so I get it all. So,
Gosh.
Wow.
yeah, so good wordplay to get out
Yeah.
right there. So, I guess the green room is just like a staging area, or is it actual
No.
use for like?
It's
media?
a executive.
It's like a living area, common area.
Yeah,
There's a
in between
fridge,
our shows. So we're a network, so
Yeah.
we have shows all day.
It's connected to the
So
garage.
people are there before doing hair and makeup,
Mhm.
grabbing a drink, and then after show, hair and makeup, having lunch, going back down, that kind of thing. Yeah.
It's like a fancy break room.
Yeah, it's a break room.
Exactly.
Yeah, not even fancy, just it's a break room called a green room. Yeah.
I guess, how long ago would this have happened, do you think?
2018 or no, 2019 or 2020. I don't know. When did the beach thing happen?
It was 20.
Is the beach thing
Basically, it's
2021?
2021.
Was
Okay,
it
so
2020 or
I
2021?
believe it's 2021.
Okay.
It was probably
Talking about
2020
Florida.
then.
Yeah,
Florida.
Florida, yeah.
I believe it's 2021.
You indicated before to me that it was 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Okay, that
So,
was my next question. Like,
Yeah.
So around 2019 should be like 3, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to even remember everything.
It's really hard and like so long ago.
I guess circling back to that letter, was it an email or a letter?
It was, I think
It's
it was
like a Google Doc.
like a note.
That I wrote out. It's like this is the things this is the timing that I've in the stuff that we've observed or I've
I'm sorry, guys. I have to back up here. Ah.
Yeah, that was my next question. Like,
Yeah.
So around 2019 should be like 3, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, guess whose hand I'm not shaking at the end of this interview? Of the 4 people in there, guess whose hand I'm not going to shake?
Yeah, so that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to even remember everything.
It's really hard and like so long ago.
I guess circling back to that letter, was it an email or a letter?
It was, I think
It's
it was
like a Google Doc.
like a note.
That I wrote out. It's like this is the things this is the timing that I've in the stuff that we've observed or I've observed that is strange and alarming and
Okay, so he's on the right track. He is basically going to create a timeline of events in case his testimony ever comes to fruition. So he's on the right track here.
No.
Now all we need him to do is release the letter. Right, everybody? Why else would you write the letter unless you're going to release the letter to the authorities?
That sort of thing.
Was it just the 2 instances of the kissing, or is something else?
I mean, there's other things too.
the in 2020. Yeah, that was 2020. When he said she walked in on me naked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that?
That was weird.
Those
wasn't,
two
that
incidents.
wasn't the Florida thing, though, right?
No,
No,
that was a different
That was
Florida.
the year before.
In Florida.
So the 2 things, and then the other Florida.
The
and
year
then
before,
that's everything.
So there's 2 things in Florida, I guess.
Mhm.
One in 2020, one in 2021. Okay. 2020 is when he said she walked in on him,
Mhm.
and 21 is when he was allegedly watching her change her.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I would frame that.
Okay. That actually makes a lot more sense to me. So, let's see. You think that you guys still have a record of that Google Doc or anything?
Yeah.
Yeah. What, do you think I'll be able to get it? Copy of it?
Yeah. We'll get that.
Okay. Yeah. No rush. So,
I can give it to you right now.
you
I don't know how
I mean,
to.
can you email it to you, I guess?
should
or
be able to. Yeah. I think.
Can you do that
Sure.
from your phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want it CC to you?
Yeah.
Okay, so he wrote a letter of the chain of events that occurred, and he agreed here that he was going to get the investigator the letter. All is good, right?
If you don't mind, if
Sure.
you can just give him that and just see it.
Sure. Again, it's nothing like formal. It was just kind of
Yeah,
like,
but-
you know, this is.
Yeah.
I'm happy to share it. It was like, these are the things
And he's happy to share it.
that we're in this family, right? And these are things that we have seen that we're concerned about, you know. And so it was just written out. I don't know. I never thought that he was going to see the light of day.
Well, this-
It is.
You were gathering your thoughts because we
I
were
really
like,
was.
we were trying to figure out, is there like, was this an accident or is there like, because we care
Yeah.
about her, we care about our kids. I mean,
And
we just
at
took
the
it
end of the day,
seriously.
despite like Josh's character and the way he's treated my wife and I
Yeah.
and like our family,
And our,
we have been, you know, professional and loving in the sense that we could have gone online and smeared him and like jumped on this a long, long time ago.
because he's wronged us.
But because we've never seen anything incriminating, we just kept it between us and the professionals, you know, you being one of them. And so it's like,
because it's like, I don't know for sure if he did
that's
or
one of the
not.
worst things you can be accused of.
And so I'm
and not
like,
be.
if you tell the whole world and it's not true, that's wrong.
Yeah, that's one of those things. I'm not here to. My job is not to find the people and make them go to jail or anything. My job is to hear everything, and if they're innocent, prove they're innocent. If they're guilty, prove they're guilty.
Yeah.
That's it. So, I mean, it's 50-50 things.
And we want to know
I feel 50-50
the
on this.
truth. We want to know the truth.
Yep. Absolutely. I'm good too.
Yeah.
But this part of it is, you know, that letter keeps as a recurring theme. So I wouldn't be any good at my job if I didn't even ask about it.
I guess my
Yeah.
request would be,
His email, he says, yeah.
Yeah.
if I do, or when I do send it, can we just agree to keep it private? Because the last thing I want is another thing online being sensationalizing, but I'm happy
Yeah,
to.
so
Why, JW? Why? Why don't you want it online? JW, let me explain something to you. If you would have come forward with this letter, and if the letter hadn't been made public, and if you or your wife or Jonathan Lamb would have made this letter public, let me tell you something, bud. You'd be the hero right now. And if you'd like to give to this ministry, you can Zelle or PayPal, PastorJohnInTahoe @gmail.com, or you can write to me, John T., P.O. Box 13275, South Lake Tahoe, California, 96151. You'd be the hero right now, JW, but you don't want it in the newspapers. You don't want it in the media. You don't want it on social media, but you would be the hero in this situation. You want to know why? Because no one who is employed at Daystar has the guts to stand up and tell what really happened.
the information that was released from the previous report, that was given to the parents. So the parents took that and released it against my wishes. And I didn't even know they did it.
Oh, wow.
I didn't even know they released anything until I started getting calls from
And that's what I don't want.
I understand.
Yeah.
Um,
But I'm happy to help you in your
Yeah.
investigation because I too want the truth. Honestly, I have a daughter, and
Yeah.
this is, you know, very intimate to my life.
Well, sometimes you have to go public when you want the truth to be made public, bud.
But I just don't want to further cause a storm or a swirl or a web of stuff online and all that.
well, so I don't release anything to me, and as long as even if it's suspended, active, or anything, if it's not closed, they can't release anything anyways. We're getting daily calls from all over people in Canada, people in other
Yeah.
countries calling saying, "I want the police report." Can't get it. Just for background, there was a previous incident back at Compass Church back in 20
Yes.
that was reported. So that case was closed for a while. I'm sure you guys are aware of that. That's how they got that report. It isn't closed.
Okay.
But I can't.
So when this case closes, or if this case closes,
stuff is
then-
open, it's public record, that's what I'm getting at. So
Yeah.
that's the thing. So I'm not gonna lie to you and say
Why don't you want it known to the public? The public needs to know if there is a predator out there that's not behind bars, JW. What's the big deal, man? You have a problem being a hero?
No,
Yeah.
I'll just hold it onto it for everything. Everything I document is open to record eventually, if
Yeah.
everything gets impounded. So, I guess consult with him, see what.
Well, here's the thing, and this is what you all told me at your home, that you wanted a thorough investigation, right?
Yeah.
In order for this have some closure.
Yeah.
This is the man to do it. I mean, that's why he has to ask for it.
Yeah.
That's up
Yeah.
to you all as to, I guess, the collateral consequences.
So JW wants a thorough investigation, but he doesn't want anyone to know what he saw. Not a real man?
Of that would be,
Yeah.
that fallout, eventually this becoming.
I mean, there's nothing in the Google Doc that's not true. It's just a matter of
Yeah,
like,
it's what we
A lot of this
saw
is-
and it's our
a lot of
thoughts.
this is opinions and things
Yeah.
too that he puts in there,
it wasn't for public consumption.
Yeah.
It was
So,
our
yeah.
concern, and it was kind of gathering all of our thoughts. Like, okay,
That's
these are
it.
all the things. Let's put it down.
Let me do it this way. I think it's probably better to do it this way, just to prevent the fallout, if you will. What you observed and saw, why don't we get that and give to Detective
That's
Garcia without all the other commentaries? You have a lot of commentary.
Yeah, because it was never meant to be something.
Yeah,
for someone.
and so there's a lot of commentary and opinions.
You're good
And,
at that.
It was
but-
putting all your thought.
I don't care if you didn't like the Diet Coke in the video.
Yeah.
I don't care about that.
Let's do it that way. Why don't you?
Okay, cool.
Here's what
I'll
I
work
need
on
you
it.
to do. Email it to me first.
Okay.
Let me go through it and take all the commentary out and observe. For instance, one you put in there, I'm just thinking about him holding the kids in the pool.
Yeah.
You thought that was weird how
I
he
did,
held
yeah.
the kids in the pool, but
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, he used this holding the kids in the pool.
What are you going to do if someone is, when a man is holding a kid in the pool? First thing I want to know is, where are your hands? Where are your other body parts? But this guy, he can't do anything. He can't even release the letter. You know what, guys? My belief, Jonathan Weiss just wants everyone to see that his family is flowers and happy and puppies and candy, and there's no issues whatsoever. Well, in order to be a real man, sometimes you have to stand up and you have to say uncomfortable things, JW.
He was being like an airplane, with his hands underwater, and I just remember thinking, like, why is his hands underwater with those kids?
So that
Again, I remember thinking, no, you needed to be acting in this particular situation. Go in there, go in the water. If you're not man enough to break up the situation, go in there and just be another party in the situation so that you can monitor the situation from close range. But instead, I was just thinking, I was like,
was one I just remembered, but there could be a couple of others. So let me have him give it to me.
Yeah.
I'll forward it to you, minus all the commentary and opinions, etc. Okay, that work?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm really just interested in the stuff relevant to this stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I know I'm joking about the Diet Coke thing, but if you have gripes with Daystar, with all due respect, I don't care about Daystar and this whole thing. I just care about Ari. So,
Us too.
Us
We
too.
really care about. And I feel like at the end of the day, she's been the biggest.
Victim.
Yeah, in the sense that, I mean, whether or not something happened to her,
Yeah,
this is gonna haunt her for a long time.
It is.
Just the internet, and so, and like, why are they doing it publicly like this is ridiculous to me. But
yeah, I agree with you that way that she's the victim of this whole thing. So,
Yeah.
regardless.
it's possible that Jonathan and Suzy knew that because you guys were on the Daystar payroll and married to that payroll, you weren't going to help whatsoever. So Jonathan and Suzy likely thought, we are on our own here. And JW, you've got a track record just by this testimony in this police detective interview. You have a history just in this interview, JW, of not doing anything, of having the attitude of I was like, and I wanted to, and I thought about, but you didn't do anything, bud. You're married to that paycheck.
If she was a
Man, Jesus promises us that we are going to have to give an account for our lives when we go and stand before him. Bud, this is something you are going to have to stand in front of Jesus, and you're going to have to recount the situation, and you're going to have to do some explaining.
And that's why
solve or not.
Yeah.
when we saw the things that we saw, whether or not they were either just creepy and weird, or we just went and told the parents immediately, because like that's what I would want someone to do if somebody saw something.
Exactly.
When you have kids.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't be as level-headed as you, but
I don't think I was.
I don't know if he'll be level-headed.
Yeah.
it just wasn't our kid.
It wasn't my
As
kid.
an
So we
example,
had-
he told me if he saw anyone, his daughter like that, then he would
He
be
would have
criminal
gone ballistic.
defense attorney.
Yeah.
But he's not our kid. We defer to the parents.
I
And
wanted their respect there. Maybe
We only protect our kids. We don't protect other kids, just our kids.
they were cool with that.
well, no,
Boundary
my
wise.
brother, my brother eventually came to us and said, I don't know if he did something or not, but I'm forgiving him and I'm dropping it.
Really?
Yes.
That's when Marcus went to him and he said, I felt the Holy Spirit tell me that nothing happened in this situation. I want you to forgive Jonathan. I want you to forgive Joshua Brown. And I want you to go back to normal life and love him. Jonathan, being an obedient son and an obedient employee, did what his dad said. Now, in hindsight, I think Marcus missed the boat on that.
That's one of the reasons why we did. That's one of the reasons why we're like, okay, if you're letting it go, we haven't seen anything incriminating. There's nothing we can do. You're the parent, and that's your choice. We have to respect that.
I beg to differ. You say you guys haven't seen anything incriminating. Kissing a young child on the mouth, and the young child didn't want to have any part of that. You did see something.
And he told you that told you
Yeah,
the
he
same
told
We
thing?
did it more than
Separately.
once.
Because I remember going to him and I said something along the lines of like, you really don't think Josh did this? And he said, I don't know, but I know that I prayed over him, and when I prayed over him and forgave him, I felt that something break off of me. That's a direct quote. I felt something break off of me.
Yeah, something broke off of him, and it was unforgiveness that broke off of him, and any offense that Jonathan Lamb may have had toward Josh Brown. That doesn't mean that nothing happened.
And I'm moving on from that.
Yeah. And when I asked him, I was like, are you going to pursue this or do he said, I don't know if he did it or not, but I forgive him regardless, and I'm letting it go.
Exactly.
So I'm like,
So
okay, that's his decision.
I was going to keep going.
Your dad asked him to forgive him and take Joshua Brown's sins as far as the east is from the west. Now, you didn't know that, did you? Your parents, at least your mom, is a manipulative person. Viewers, I want to explain something right now. You guys have never heard me say a bad thing about Marcus Lamb, and I'll tell you why. When I sat in Jonathan and Suzy's living room with Laura Lynn, Vanessa Johnson, and Elizabeth Davis, I asked Jonathan and Suzy about Marcus and their thoughts toward Marcus. And they explained to us that Marcus had sincerely repented, and they believed that. And if so, I hold nothing against Marcus, and I have no reason to disbelieve Jonathan and Suzy, but both of them were adamant about the fact that Marcus was a changed man. Okay, so yes, Marcus has had sins in the past. Church, we've all had sins in the past, okay? And if Jonathan and Suzy believe that he's repented, I have nothing to say about that's all God wants anyway, is repentance.
Around saying that Josh is weird, the dynamics in the family are already terrible.
That's part of the thing too, is interpersonal relationships.
You guys work and y'all live really close to each other, so that's...
That'd be cool if we all got along.
Yeah, that's what we would want.
Whatever.
Yeah. It's been rough.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, especially with the little one too.
Yeah.
Can't be easy.
Mm-mm.
Well, I guess most of the details I got about you guys, or questions I have about you guys, is from all the information that's being just shot out there.
Sure.
One of the things that was mentioned repeatedly was you guys don't allow Josh at the house. Is the kind of the same thing because he's just weird?
Yeah, because one of the things that he would do is he has been really bad to us through the years, and he would treat us one way when my sister was there or my mom was there, and then when no one was there, he would be, when they were there, he would be decent to us, and when no one was around, he would be mean. And I saw
that's narcissistic behavior. And I'm going to cover that in my next video, where I'm talking about the police interview with Joshua Brown, Pete.
and be that way with my kids.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my kids are
they
not
confuse
dealing
our
with that
kids.
kind of behavior.
Yeah.
And I'm super protective of my kids anyway. And we didn't have a friendship, so there was no reason for him to come to our house. But I don't trust him.
But then after the allegations came out from
That was
Suzy, then it was like, yeah, you're just not allowed here.
Yeah, that was enough for us.
Yeah.
So it
But
wasn't...
there was other reasons.
Okay,
Yeah.
because he's a jerk and...
Yeah.
You don't think he's treating your kids right?
Correct. We caught him like being mean to our son once when he didn't know we were looking.
He has manipulative behavior.
And I was just kind of like, I don't want
I've
my
caught
kid
him
to deal
lying.
with that, So it's one thing to be mean to me and Rebecca and I as adults, that's like just not tolerable in a professional environment, in my opinion. But you're not going to do things to my kids.
Yeah, that's where I draw the
That's
line.
not going to happen.
That's the mark of a narcissist. A narcissist basically dismisses anyone who is in their life whom they not only may or may not see as a liability, but someone who cannot give to them and benefit them. That is the mark of a narcissist. And again, I'm going to cover that in my next video.
My kids aren't going to have to deal with that kind of back and forth behavior where 1 second you're nice and then you flip on a dime, and then so it's one of the reasons why I don't trust him.
Okay. That clarifies it for me.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Trying to think, check the notes real quick.
And because the allegations too.
It was a combination.
That was, I guess, before, and then the allegations kind of said, okay, she's not over to the house anymore.
Correct.
Okay.
I don't think they ever really came over.
They never came over.
Right,
We're not friends.
We never were friends. They very
No.
much didn't like us.
Kept their lives private.
Yeah, very much secretive. They really cozied up to Jonathan and Suzy because they saw like Jonathan and Suzy as like the next ones to lead. And
So Joshua Brown believed that Jonathan and Suzy were going to be he and Rachel's next bosses. So by JW and Rebecca's own admission here, they were cozying up to Jonathan and Suzy, and they were dismissing anyone in their lives that they either see as a liability or someone who is not going to be of benefit to them. Absolute narcissistic behavior by Joshua Brown.
they very much wanted to be like as close to that as they could. And I think that's part of why they were so into their kids.
Like Rachel and Josh try to be really buddy-buddy with Jonathan and Suzy. We speculated, is it because he was mean to them and then he flipped.
You were right.
So yeah, I forgot about that.
He sowed a lot of division in our family. And that's something that's not being talked about online. But I personally feel like he has narcissistic tendencies.
Okay. Yeah,
But I don't know. I'm not a psychologist. I can't
I'm not
diagnose
either.
him.
Not either. But every now and then you meet somebody, I'm not saying it's him, but every now and then you meet somebody,
Yeah.
that dude's got issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I guess in the Florida house thing, second time, 2021, one of the reports or blogs online said that you guys were upset because you weren't part of a family meeting or something.
not upset, just kind of like whatever. We were outside when the whole thing happened.
Yeah.
Jonathan Lamb flew the door open. He was beat red. We were outside by the pool
With our son. We only had him
And
at
he
the
said,
time.
it's all going down right now. I caught Josh. And we walked in and Josh is chasing Jonathan around the house saying, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And Rachel's screaming and Suzy's screaming. And then like,
They all went and
they all
met.
went down to meet in the
We were
basement.
like, we want to be a part of this because we're part of this family.
That was it, yeah.
But
like,
we-
should we be there? It's kind of like, should we talk this out or figure this out? And
Yeah,
they were
'cause
supposed to stay away.
We've always cared. And the thing is too, is that when all of that went down with someone went upstairs, because there's different versions of that, I have no idea what actually happened because both of us were outside with Asher.
Yeah,
and that
that's
was
true.
part of the problem
And
too.
now there's two.
Well, guys, you should have demanded that you be part of that meeting. And Rebecca, you hit it on the head that you are part of this family as well. And I'm sorry. I don't know any other way to say this. You guys are soft.
Totally
I just
different
believed
narratives.
Suzy.
You know, there's the city view and this, you know,
Yeah.
there's one view that Rachel shared and one view that Suzy shared. At
Suzy
the
says
time-
he deliberately went up, and then the other version is it was an
No,
accident.
Suzy says that he went into a trance and his
The
eyes
black
were dark,
eyes,
and
yeah.
then he followed her up the room. And
That's what happens when you are under the influence of a demon. I have no reason to not believe Suzy's account of that.
she raced to get Jonathan, and he dropped his toothbrush and sprinted up the stairs and caught Josh staring. You know, and then the other version would be, you know, Israel, the son, wanted to show.
Wow, it's almost like he's making fun. Let me back that up a little bit.
His toothbrush and sprinted up the stairs and caught Josh staring. You know, and then the other version would be, you know, Israel, the son, wanted to show Josh the city view when they went up together to look at the city view, and then nothing changed. So there's two totally different like spins on it.
Who gave that other version? Was it Josh or Joni? I'm gonna guess yes. So we are at the point of who do we believe? Jonathan and Suzy or Joshua Brown, whom Rebecca refers to as a narcissist, and I do not agree. I disagree with that assessment. So agreeing with Joshua Brown and Joni Lamb. Viewers, you can weigh in on this. Love to hear your comments on this.
Same thing.
And we have no
And we
idea.
don't know. Honestly, don't know because we weren't in the room. You know, you can't.
No,
really-
we only saw the after events where my brother immediately came and found us because we were close to Jonathan and Suzy. You know,
Okay. You sound like chaos.
Yeah.
it was chaos,
Yeah.
and this whole thing has been chaos.
I know you're gonna hate me for this, but is it okay if I go pee real quick?
I do it every time.
I'm sorry.
Why does it?
Where do I go, detective?
He goes
Straight past
pee.
those, past
Oh,
those
man, I'm the
windows.
old-
I'm supposed to be doing this, right? I'm the old man
I
here.
drink like 4 of those.
It's
Okay.
the story of my life. It's the story of my marriage. Every time in an important situation, I'm like, you just leave me alone so you have to go pee. But yeah, it's just been awful. It sucked, you know.
Yeah, family stuff is, that's what it boils down to. I mean, I think we talked about it before. It's
Yes.
family issues right now.
Yeah, and we have our issues. We have our own toxic dysfunctions, and me and him, we've just always tried to do right by people. We've always asked for, our family to move forward and become healthier and break those toxic cycles, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you picked a good time to go, I guess, huh? I'm pretty much done.
Okay.
You got any questions or anything for me, or anything I should know about off the top of your head? I'll ask him the same thing when he gets back.
Not anything else that I can think of. just, I want to know the truth.
Me too.
I just don't know if there's a way, is there a way that it can be?
I want to know the truth, but I don't want to be a part of making any of this public. I want everyone to think that everything in my life is just roses, but I don't want to make any of this public, but I want the truth out. Gotcha.
Found out?
Ultimately, I can't do that with what I have right now. Ultimately, it's going to be a...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So keep praying.
I will.
Yeah, keep praying. And try to stay together.
So yeah, you got your family, and I've told this to other people too, like a bunch of nobodies, you you got your big family, but this is your family here.
Yeah.
You and your kids.
Sorry, thank you.
He was like, a good time to go, because he's
Yeah.
like, I'm basically done.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I asked her already, I guess you have any questions for me, or do you think there's anything I should know?
No, I just really want the truth on this one,
Pretty much the same.
Okay.
We're in agreement.
Release the letter. That will be part of the truth. And you know what, guys? There's what is called the snowball effect. If you guys were to keep the ball rolling here after Jonathan and Suzy have done and said and released everything that they have, you guys would be another account of the truth. But did you release the letter?
Yeah, y'all together on
We
this.
want the same
Yeah,
thing.
like, I hate the way it's gone down, and, I even feel bad for you and how you probably have
Being
been.
dragged into all
Because
this.
we all kind of feel like we're dragged into something that, but at the end of the day, like, if it was abused by him, that needs to come out, in my opinion, and it
Yeah.
needs to be dealt with properly.
That's what we've been
And,
praying
and that's
for.
what we desire. And then if it wasn't, then I'd be like clarity on that, so that we could like move forward and try and restore this family, because it's really
Trying
a
to work
broken
things
family.
out. Yeah.
So use
I don't see any restoring that is going to happen as long as Joshua Brown and Joni Lamb are narcissists. I think you guys just need to get that in your psyche that it's not going to happen until they are not narcissists any longer.
shoot me that email.
Yes, sir.
And then I'll get that to you, detective, as soon as I can.
Yeah.
You can get that done. Okay.
I guess, what do you guys, I know it's a dumb question, what do you guys think about the whole thing? Like, what, think there's an angle for somebody,
Yeah.
or, okay, what?
No?
Oh, I don't know.
With Jonathan and Suzy, right?
Oh, anybody, I guess, I mean.
I think there's two angles, so yeah, go ahead, you do yours first.
Well, we had some friends tell us that my brother's, like, one of the things he's trying to do through all this is he's trying to become president.
Mhm.
So,
Okay. I don't doubt that. Was he trying to become president for selfish, narcissistic reasons, Rebecca? Or was he doing that because it was your dad's wishes, number one? Number two, be honest. Who would be better at the helm of Daystar? Your mom, who has single-handedly taken this whole empire down, or your brother Jonathan Lamb? Who would be a better leader, Rebecca? Do you really think it's for selfish motives? See, if he had selfish motives and he just wanted to make money, he would have stayed on at Daystar. He would have signed the NDA. He would have dotted all of his I's, crossed all of his T's, just like you and your husband did. But if your insinuation is that it's all about money, Rebecca, for your brother Jonathan, I think you're wrong on this, sis.
it's not just, everything that he's doing there, it was intentional. And I know for a year, however, so he was conspiring, he was doing that.
Yeah, and if he really thought that his daughter was touched, he shouldn't have like just buried that until it was time to suit him and his career. He should have gone.
Okay, well, again, That's what Marcus requested, and Jonathan was simply being obedient. That doesn't mean that he forgot about the situation. That doesn't mean that he wasn't going to pick it up at another time. You guys just don't know Jonathan and Suzy that well, and for some reason, you really believe the best in Joni. I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm sitting here 2 time zones away from Joni Lamb, and I can see so much of her narcissism and the fact that she probably has a Jezebel spirit. And I can see it. I don't know why you guys can't see it.
That addressed. So I don't know if they actually think that, honestly, as much as they just might, they can use this to bring down his mom, which is terrible. Terrible.
And like
so mean,
I said, I question their motivations in the protection of a child, because why didn't you try to protect our kids?
They don't care about our kids. It's the bottom line.
Or they don't really.
If they did, if you had a brother-in-law, they would come and tell you that it's something you should look at. Or it
would ruin it would threaten his plan.
Yeah, because we would have just said, oh, what are you doing? We wouldn't, because we're not dysfunctional, we're functional. So, I mean, I think that they're in the...
Soft and functional, okay.
There's that angle, and then on the other side of it is I don't understand why Josh has been so weird about hiding things from everyone, If you
because he's a narcissist and a PDF file. How am I the one that sees this from 2 time zones away? You guys work with him. You guys live in his same town. You guys watch Disney movies all day?
You're innocent, just come out and say, let's get this over with. But to me, it's been all mishandled, mismanaged.
Yeah.
Say hiding everything for everybody, the family, that's telling you guys what's going on, or?
Yeah, we don't know hardly anything. I mean,
yeah.
I just feel...
You know enough to have written a letter that you're not going to end up submitting because you're afraid of what viewers might think about it, what the public might think about it. Dude, if you haven't done anything wrong, release the letter. But you know what? I would submit that you have done something wrong in not submitting the letter. I would even go as far as say you are enabling the PDF file.
Out of the loop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very much out of the loop. We're the furthest. We're the bottom of the barrel. No, really.
Don't put it that way.
Not in the eyes of the Lord. Really value. I'm telling you, in the family, you are the bottom.
Well, looking outside in, I think that's where we want to be right now. So.
Well, that's a good point, too.
That's a good point.
Rebecca, I don't say this to be mean. You and JW are at the bottom of the barrel in the family because you're both soft and there's not a real man in your house. I'm sorry. I don't want to hurt your feelings. I'm just giving you the truth.
Yeah.
And we just want to do, honestly, this whole time, we've always just tried to do the right thing.
Yeah, that's why I'm so grateful that you reached out to us, because I feel like that was probably the last kind of bucket
thing that we could do
is talk to somebody completely outside that is a detective that can investigate and tell us what, because at the end of the day, we've never witnessed a crime. We just felt and seen all these weird things, and we've dealt with not a predator, but what is he like? Is he? I mean, he's
been abusive.
He's terrorized
He's been
us
abusive.
for years,
Yeah.
and so it's anytime we've tried to raise anything, it's always been
our concern.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Okay. So it just kind of sucks that he's in the family now, right?
Totally.
Exactly.
Okay. Nah, I get it. Yeah, I got a family like that too.
I think everyone
Don't we
does,
all?
honestly.
Yeah.
We all.
I think everybody does.
Yeah, don't we all.
That's it for me. I appreciate you guys taking the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you,
Anything
Detective.
Yeah, if y'all have any questions,
Yeah.
you got my
I told you.
Is there any, everyone's he needs to be investigated. That's what you're doing, right?
yeah, I'm looking at everything.
Yeah. So it is happening.
Yeah, it is. So that's part of the frustration. I can't just, no matter how much I want to, I can't go and to each one of these. We're getting letters, emails, phone
I
calls.
can
all
only
that stuff,
imagine, because we're getting it too.
We're getting it
Yeah,
too.
okay.
Yeah.
And
Every
people,
day.
You're getting your personal?
Oh, yeah.
personal-
Yeah, because Jonathan Lamb gave
My
out
own
my
email
cell phone.
and my cell phone.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah,
yes,
the
but
same-
never talk to us.
Same online terrorist.
Well, you know, the guys, the telephone, the funny thing about it is, I don't know if JW and Rebecca, if you guys are aware of this, but this phone here, it's not just for receiving calls. You can make calls as well.
Numbers to reporters. I just got an email the other day. It's just been nonstop.
Yeah.
But it's like it's crazy.
So you guys can reach out to Jonathan and Suzy anytime you guys would like. I don't know why the burden is on them. If they're not talking to you, they're upset with you for a reason. And if you want restoration in the family, restoration in the relationship, I would highly recommend that you use your cell phone, assuming that you have a cell phone, guys, and call Jonathan and Suzy. Try to make things right.
Wow. We'll just refer them to him, or
Yeah,
Really,
really.
just we're not talking to him basically,
On
because
spot.
there's nothing to gain or help or do, you know?
Yeah.
Well, it's tedious if you guys got a lot of contacts, but what I tell people with stalking and harassment cases is get a new phone number, don't give it to Jonathan and Suzy.
Right.
Yeah.
And that way it'll stop right there.
Yeah.
But we're getting all kinds of weird stuff coming out. People bringing up stuff that allegedly happened in Australia, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, people running with it online.
Did you tell
just
them about
search
that?
it, so. The stuff we're getting, besides the reporters, are people seeing the reports on YouTube or on the blogs and calling us and trying to give us information that's from those YouTubes and the blogs. So
Yeah.
it's like third party, fourth party stuff.
Okay.
They see it and they're like, I got all these tips for you. Okay, we have YouTube too. We see that stuff. So, and just the term Australia came out and said there's stuff needs to be investigated for in Australia. Well, I'm Texas, Tarrant County. I'm a little guy here, so. But I was that's just trying to tell you the scope of the whole thing.
I know.
And that is, I've been doing this long enough where it's not inherently
Yeah.
evil.
Correct.
If he did it.
Right.
So it's just one of those things. So that was something that, what you told me is not something that's alarming to me.
Yeah. And I don't even know if he did that or not. It was
Yeah.
just, it's like, wow, it was second, I don't know what party that would have been, because I wasn't even in that conversation. I just heard about that conversation. But that's literally everything I can think of.
I appreciate it.
Okay, well, thank you, Detective. Appreciate it.
You guys
Good.
think of anybody else I need to talk to? Feel free to reach out to me.
Okay.
With you?
Okay. Get it? Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks, Nick.
you.
Appreciate you, man. And I'll get that to you. Suzy gets that to me.
Sure,
and I'll
I appreciate it.
Go through that. Okay, thank you so
Thank you.
much. Bye-bye.
Okay, so that was the end of interview number 1, and interview number 2 is a lot shorter. I'm going to edit this out, so there won't be much to the rest of this particular video that I'm on right now. But please, you'll want to stay tuned to the next video. Now, I do want to say this, everybody. A few months ago, I was on a series that I called Daystar Queens of Denial, and Rebecca Weiss was the first person that I discussed in this series, and I invite you to go back, check out that video. With that said, I do want to tell you a lot of people agreed with my perspective on it, and then there was a small percentage of women who just absolutely crucified me in this, because I had asserted that my personal belief, and that's all these videos are, there's a lot of opinion in it, but my personal belief is that Rebecca Weiss holds her family as an idol. But I'll let you guys decide. But you can go back and check out that video from a few months back. So the second interview is basically the detective reading Jonathan Weiss's letter, the letter that Jonathan Weiss would not turn over permanently to the detective, wouldn't let him make a copy of it. Why? Because Jonathan Weiss just wants to be on the down low. He wants to say things about people behind their backs, and he doesn't want to make anything public. He just wants peace. We all want peace, but there is a time to stand up when something horrible has happened. So that is the end of this video. Hopefully, in the name of Jesus, in a couple of days, I am going to have the second video on this particular series where I dissect the narcissistic attributes of Joshua Brown. And I'm going, similar to this video, I'm going to be commenting on the interview with the detective from Joshua Brown. So until then, God bless you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget that we have the Remnant every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on the Remnant YouTube channel. The link is in the description.